Kevin, of course, I mean, a dominating performance tonight, other than a little bit of time, but a dominating performance, and you got the finish as well. Give an idea kind of how you feel about your performance tonight.
I feel pretty good. You know, I'm happy with it, but never content. I'm always critical of myself. I even see some of the spots where we can clean up, but that's just part of the game. It's part of the evolution. It's what keep guys like me pushing and keep pushing forward in this sport and showing something new. So I'm happy I got in there. I got the time in. I used my experience, and I think real fighters and real fight fans really saw it, and it shone through. And I showed it. You know, I still got a lot of time in this sport.
But what's the criticisms then? Where do you feel like your shortcomings were?
Always. You know, he did a good job in there. I mean, Barboza could take a shot. He's one of the toughest, strongest guys that I've faced. I felt like I could have pushed a little bit more on some of the takedowns. You know, like I said, I'll go back. I'll pick it apart. Boxing could have been a little bit sharper. Kickboxing could have a little bit sharper. Wrestling, the transitions, everything. I'm steady improving.
The big moment, of course, was the third round where it got a little bit scary for you. The kick. Did you see the kick coming? Did you? How bad was it?
That's one of the things about being in this game, especially with one of the best strikers, one of the best guys in this division. You can't take your mind off of him for a second, and I felt like I did that. But again, that's just experience. It's part of my complete game. I can take a shot, I can keep pushing forward, and that's what a true champion got to do. Because when you're fighting at them high levels, you're gonna take a shot. But you know, I never took my eyes off of him. I stayed in there. I stayed, you know, right back on the game plan. Stayed loose. Never wavered for a second. And that's what I was saying before the fight. This fight was going to come down to the mental strength, and I felt like I showed that. I showed maturity. I showed everything that my coaches have been asking from me from a long time, and now it's finally starting to catch up with me.
You had a closer look at the damage than we did. I mean, when you were looking at it, did you think this fight's going to get stopped soon?
You know, I mean, I just kept working. I kept pushing forward. You know, I tuned all that out. I tuned the crowd out. I tuned, you know, the ref out. I tuned everything out. I tuned even Edson out. I was just in there. I was just working, trying to put the time in because, again, that's that experience. Every minute that you spend in there, I'm getting better and better and better because it's only on to bigger and better fights from here. And that's what I'm going to need when I really got to rely on it.
And the last thing for me, you said afterwards, it's Khabib time. I mean, this has been a big month for the lightweight division, right? And I know you saw Dustin Poirier's performance last week. I mean, that was pretty impressive as well. And, of course, he's been around a little longer than you. Eddie Alvarez was here tonight. He's saying he deserves that fight as well. So, I mean, what do you think? Why is it that you deserve that over those two guys?
Here's the thing. Eddie was too fat to take a fight less than a month ago. You know, when you say something like that, when you do that and you're not ready, your opportunity passes you by, then, you know, look, the man already done had a shot. He done lost it and lost it embarrassingly. You know, it is what it is. He was too fat a little while ago. If he want the work, he can get it. Dustin, I mean, you know, if the folks want to see Dustin, then they will. But I don't feel like he raised many questions that really need to be answered. I feel like I bring a complete style to this game, and I can raise up a lot of questions that people got answers for, that want answers for, especially with somebody like Khabib. You know, Khabib can't out wrestle me, he can't outwork me, he can't outstrike me. So we gonna see what's the better fight and what the UFC really want, because that's what really matters.
We saw you were pretty upset after the weigh-in, talking about going back to high school never happened. Did that add? Did it make it more important to get the win tonight and maybe make a statement? You know,
that was another thing that just was going to test my mental strength because it was frustrating. I mean, everything in me wanted to just kind of clam up. You know, I never missed weight before in my life. That was one of the ones. You know, it just was a mistiming thing. I felt like if I would have had an extra 15 minutes, man, I would have had that down. But as soon as it happened. I got to focus on the fight. I pushed forward. And that just goes to show, you know, the mental strength in it. You know, we mistimed it a little bit. My personal scale was a little bit off from the official scale. And that's just one of the, I mean, it's a fight game. It's just going to happen. You know, a true champion got to keep pushing forward. So it tested me a little bit more than I even expected.
Two quick questions for you. In the middle rounds, you said you were tuning out Edson, but it also seemed like you were saying something. You were on top, and you started saying something. Obviously, we couldn't hear it. What were you saying?
I was talking to myself.
Not to him?
No, I didn't even say nothing to him. I was just talking to myself. I said it before this fight. You know, there was a whole year without Robert Flores here, but all the things they used to tell me, I just kept in my head, and I was just saying them to myself. And you know, I'm in there, I'm feeling it. You know, I was in there, I was working, I was telling myself, work. That's all I. And I mean, I wasn't literally saying it, but it probably did kind of My mouth probably moved a little bit there.
All right. The second question was on obviously the spin kick that hit you, and then one in the later rounds, I think it was 5. It seems you got kind of stuck in that kicking distance, not either in or out or off to the side.
I wasn't going to avoid nothing in this fight. You know, people were saying, "Oh, did I look at Khabib's tape and want to emulate him?" Like all he did was just push forward like a truck, and just wanted to impose his game. I wanted to show that I could do it all. I could stay at that kicking range and kickbox with him too. I landed some good kicks in there. He did a good job defending them. I hit the elbows, I hit the arms a little bit. I stayed at kicking range. I kept it to boxing range. I kept it in close. I felt like I could do it all in there, and that was one of the things that I just wanted to show, that I could stand in there with the strongest, toughest kicker in this division and still stay standing and still even outwork him in some of those positions. He caught me with one good kick. I caught him with a couple good kicks. I rocked him a couple times too. You see him backing up, almost falling over. So I felt like I did my job right.
I'm sorry, maybe just to clarify, I was saying on those 2 specific ones where he hit you, you were just in the distance kind of standing. At least is what it looked from, just in the perfect range to get hit. Your coaches, I think, in round 2 were yelling at you, occupy the space. Was that just, did that miss on that timing on that? What was?
It's going to be adjustments that need to be made. It's a fight. It's dynamic, and like I said, I can do it all. So I'm pushing into every space. I want to see what his range is, and I want to. My thing is I like a challenge. I love everything. I love everything about the game. I love a challenge. People saying don't stand at kicking range with him. I'm like, fuck that. Let's see what he got. Throw the best that you got at me, and we gonna see. So yeah, it's a little bit of.
By Edson seems like
it's look, it is what it is. I'm still standing. He on the ground, so it made the job happen.
What do you think about the crowd and the atmosphere as a whole? It's been a while since Boardwalk Hall's had a big card like this.
Yeah.
Did you kind of feel that buzz out there?
Yeah, I wanted to get the fans they money's worth too. I feel like I probably could have put them away in the second round, but again, I wanted to get that time in. I wanted to get that experience in. Every minute that I'm in there, I'm getting better. And I gave the folks their money worth. Might have took a shot in the third, because of it, but hey, that's what happened when you're making the money. You feel me?
You can't get Khabib next. Who do you want? You want that rematch with Tony, wait that one out, or do you want the money fight with someone like Nate? What do you think?
We gonna see. Nate don't really want to fight. I told him shut the fuck up or go back to riding bikes, and then a month later he posted a picture of him riding bikes. So I guess he already then gave me that W. We gonna see how this whole thing shake out. We gonna see what Conor's doing, sitting on the sides or what he want. But I feel like Khabib is the next fight to be had. If not that, Tony gonna be sitting out for a minute. I love that rematch, but he gonna be sitting out. He got his own problems to look forward to. I'm just looking forward to the future and getting that gold belt wrapped around me.
Kevin, I know you're apologetic.
That you didn't have a chance to implement in the fight?
Everything. Like I said, I'm gonna go back on Monday. We gonna make some adjustments. I'm right back in the gym. It's everything to me. I'll go back. I'll watch the fight. It kind of all just happens as it's going, but I feel like I can improve on all of it. I feel like I'm still the most complete fighter in this game, especially in this division, and all my skills is going to keep getting better and better at the same time.
Kelsey, I know you were very apologetic for missing weight, but the last weight cut wasn't fun for you either. So are you concerned at all that you're getting too big as you get older for 55?
We're going to see. Like I said, I'm going to sit back. I'm going to make some adjustments. I'm going to take some time. I would love a 165 weight class. I've been calling for it for a long time. I wish more guys was called for it. A 65 weight class definitely need to be made. I still feel like that's where I'll really truly shine. You'll see the best version of me. But in the meantime, I'll make my adjustments and we'll see how this whole thing works. We gonna see how the whole thing.
I mean, are you thinking at all about going to 70, or do you feel like you're too close to 55 to make a move to 70?
It's some options to be had at 172 right now. They fucking around with this whole interim title, and that top of the division is kind of muddied right now. So it don't really seem like it's too much there right now. 155 is where I've been focusing so much. There's so many good fights. The best fighters at 155. I love a challenge. 170 is there, maybe for the future, but right now I got to get that goal around me. But 65 would probably entertain me a little bit more.
If Khabib is end up being the next fight, where and when?
I don't know. We gonna see. I hear they're going to Russia in September. So, I'm gonna be making a call to Uncle Dana. I'm trying to make a fight happen. I don't think Conor want it. I don't think nobody else want it. If Dustin say he want it, but look, I'm gonna get in where I fit in. I'm gonna squeeze my way through there. I mean, if they want to give it to Dustin and get his face beat in, then if Khabib want a real challenge, he know the man to come to.
2 quick questions for you. One, I know you keep emphasizing the fact that you're a well-rounded fighter, but it can't be denied that your top game tonight was elite. And you and I talked before the fight, the background of your wrestling is so important to you. Just touch on that a little bit, because I think people overlook the fact, that wrestling, not just for you, but for any fighter, how important it is.
Yeah, I mean, it's huge. It's huge in the game. It's been that way for a long time. Every fight, you're gonna have to know how to get close and control a guy. You're gonna be able to know how to move his body. I feel I'm one of the strongest guys in this division. Edson was definitely the strongest guy that I faced in those clinches, and I still felt like I outpowered him and outworked him. The wrestling is something that I'll be able to fall back on, but you got to be able to do it all. Khabib, that's one of the things with Khabib. He's a good wrestler. People think he all this and all that, but I don't think he can hold a candle to somebody like me, and I'm excited to go out there and prove it.
The final one for me is, last time the UFC was here in Boardwalk Hall was 2004. The guy who won the main event that night was Rich Franklin. Obviously, the guy went on to have a pretty darn good career. Do you feel that's a good omen for you?
Boardwalk Hall has got a long history, dating back to boxing, and I feel like that's where it really shined. And tonight I was trying to show the complete evolution of combat sports. You had Floyd Mayweather that fought here, Joe Louis, Tommy Hearns, all these guys that were from my city that fought here, from my state. We were born the same, we were bred the same, but I wanted to show the complete game. And like you said, the wrestling is what really got it done. Against any of those guys, against any of those boxers, you put them in a real fight, and it's lights out against somebody like me. So I hope New Jersey appreciate the evolution. I've been around this city for a couple of days now. They need to go ahead and step into the 21st century. So I went ahead and tried to push them through there and show them some of this Vegas style too.
Like that.
You said you went in and wanted to give the crowd a good fight, and your wrestling was elite today. But a lot of times when we go to the ground, the crowd would start booing and stuff like that. Did you feel a pressure to stay on the feet and bang with Edson?
Nope, I tuned them out. A real champ got to do that. I tune out the crowd. They don't know what they saying. I'm trying to show them what they saying. The ref let me work. The ref saw I was working. Edson saw I was working too. So that's all that mattered, and the W is more important. If he would have stood it back up, cool. I would have went back to work. But while it's there, I got to get what I can get.
Before your fight, did you get to see any of the fights on the undercard or in the stands for that matter?
Yeah, I saw a couple. I heard somebody was throwing down in the stands. I mean, it's dirty jersey for a reason. I saw some of the fights on the undercard. My boy Justin Willis, he went out there and he did his thing. He's gonna be the future of the heavyweight division. So a couple guys, Aljamain looked real good on this card. We showing the complete game of MMA.
He might have some competition from Aljamain. He says he's going to be the next Black Panther movie, so.
Aljamain say a lot of things. I mean, hey, more power to him. I want to see us all make money and keep growing. So, look, he want to hook up. We can do our thing. I think he hobbling out of here tonight. So you never know. I might, got to do it for him. Put on for the culture.